This week on Great Country Inns, we'll visit a bed and breakfast in the heart of the Colorado Rockies. A special home with deer grazing on the outside and waterfall showers on the inside. We'll learn to make a spicy breakfast dish called John Wayne Casserole and take a breathtaking bike ride on a snow-capped mountain, all next on Great Country Inns.
Downhill, I love it! That, my friends, is the magnificent Rocky Mountain National Park, and down below us is Estes Park, Colorado, which is where we're headed this week on Great Country Inns. I'm Donna Hamilton, and I'm certainly glad you could join us because we're visiting a very magical place this week called the River Song Bed and Breakfast. In fact, it has a room with a rock waterfall shower. Very nice. Now, if you look closely, you can see it. It's right down there.
When I visited Riversong, I was greeted by a small herd of mule deer grazing in the meadow. You'll probably see lots of wildlife because the inn sits on 30 acres of forest and the property runs adjacent to national park land. There are 3 rooms in the main building and 3 separate cabins snuggled in among tall blue spruce trees. Sue Mansfield and her husband have been running the inn for the past 8 years and just recently added a new cottage with 2 rooms that I had heard quite a bit about, and I wanted to see for myself.
Oh, look at this! I love it. I love it. Look at this bed.
We have it handmade
I
by one of our
believe that.
carpenters here.
And log walls.
Gary did that.
This is just amazing. And look at that fireplace made out of river stone.
We wanted to have one room that people really felt was Colorado. That's what Colorado means.
This is it.
We thought this was the room.
No doubt about it.
Do you and Gary ever sneak up here and spend the night?
Oh, of course. We do it. No, that's part of our job. We do that intentionally so that we can experience the room as a guest would experience.
So it's research.
Partly.
It's important.
And a little bit of fun, too. Here.
A little bit of fun, too.
You bet.
I mean, this is so romantic. So what's back here?
Come on back. I'll show you.
I love that. That is just so nice. Porcupine.
Are you ready for this?
Heavenly days. This is just, well, it's decadent, Sue, is what it is.
That's the idea.
It's decadent.
Our guests need nurturing, and this does it.
A fireplace by the tub.
And of
I
course,
want this
candles.
to be my bathroom. It is so nice. How did you get all this river stone up here?
Well, we just collected it from a lot of different places.
And look at the shower.
Now you should take a look at the shower. It's a waterfall shower, but you may get wet, so stand back as soon as you turn it on.
You turn it on, and what does it do?
Just stay a little bit to the left and try
Over
that.
here?
Yeah, and then just to the right.
That is so neat. Who thought of this?
I did.
You thought of this, didn't you? Oh, I love it.
Yes, I do the designing of the rooms. So
Oh, good. Well-placed towel.
Yes,
I like
yes.
that. This is just something else. This is romance personified.
that's what we were looking for. That's what our guests are looking for.
Well, if they come here, they're certainly going to find it. Do you ever have any children that are born after people visit here?
You know, we have a dog named after one of the rooms. We know we've had 2 children conceived here, but so far nobody's named a child Riversong. So
One day.
Riversong is located outside the small town of Estes Park, which is just about a 2-hour drive from Denver. The inn is situated just off the Continental Divide and the beautiful Rocky Mountains. The rooms at Riversong are exceptional, but if you ask Sue's husband Gary, he'll tell you it's the surrounding area that's the real attraction for guests.
Tell me, Gary, is there a prettier spot on earth than this?
I don't think so, Donna. Sue and I had a chance to travel to Europe quite a bit, to the Austrian Alps, Alaska, Mount McKinley, and you know, we always come back to Colorado, but when we travel, we look for perhaps another place that might be better, but we always come back home.
Now, Gary's personal favorite room at the inn is one appropriately called Cowboy's Delight.
I don't know. It's kind of like a little mountain cabin, kind of hidden away. For me, it's just really, really comfortable. I can remember a couple of years ago when I was kind of late doing my tax return, and the business was kind of quiet. I'd haul all my stuff up there, and I'd light a fire in the wood stove, and I kind of felt like Abe Lincoln doing his homework. And I just have fond memories about that room.
Yeah, it's neat because it has the little loft up above.
Yeah, and I love the plaids and the natural wood and just and of course the view out to the Continental Divide too. That's really special.
This room has lots of little touches added for atmosphere. A pair of furry horse slippers, a rope on the bedpost, and an old wood-burning stove.
So there's your rhubarb patch over there.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever think that you'd be an innkeeper before you got this place? I mean, was it something you wanted to do?
I have to say, we hadn't thought about it for a long time until we decided we wanted to move to Colorado, move it up to Estes Park. And then it was, how do we make a living up here?
Look at that. Where did you get that bed?
We made it.
Did you really?
We did. These were all cut on our property.
That, you cut the wood and made
We
the
cut
bed?
it and made it.
How?
And it had to be built here in the room. There's no way you could build it outside of the room. It had to be built in here.
How long did it take you?
Actually, they did it in a day.
Seriously?
2 days before we started and cut all these, and then we put them in a big pot of glycerin and water so they'd stay supple.
That is incredible. This is a beautiful room. What's it called?
This is Wood Nymph.
Wood Nymph. Very romantic. So I've noticed you have little, what do you call them, diaries?
Journals.
Journals in every book. And why do you do that? And what's inside them?
Well, it's for guests to share their feelings of some of their experiences here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are absolutely wonderful. There are poems, there are fairy tales. One woman talked about how she felt her baby kick for the first time. And it's really special. It's very special for us, but it's very special for the other guests who can come in and share that.
I'll have to sit down and read one of these.
I think you'd enjoy it.
Some interesting stories in here, no doubt. What a view from this room.
Isn't this wonderful?
It is beautiful. Yes, indeed. The sound of the river.
That's all part of the atmosphere. It helps relax people. That's where the Riversong name came from.
When people come here, are they generally speaking stressed, nervous?
They are. People arrive at our front door just like this. And we kind of let the magic of the place work on them. At first we were really upset when people would be uptight, but now we just say, okay, we'll take care of you, don't worry about it. And very, very gradually people just unwind. And when they leave, you can see the visual difference.
Is romance a big part of a country inn?
It's a good setting for romance. There isn't the pressure. When people come here, they can check in their room, enjoy a hot tub and a fireplace beside the hot tub. There aren't the constraints of any sort of a schedule. There's no clocks in the room. We have our serving time in the morning that's ample so that they can sleep in. And I think that's very, very important for couples to get away from schedules and routines and do something, unstructured.
2 chairs, a secluded pond surrounded by a national forest. I tell you, it is Very easy to see how romance plays a big part in a place like Riversong. Now don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be sampling Gary and Sue's delicious John Wayne chili casserole, and we'll also take a mountain bike ride through the Rocky Mountain National Park. Stay with us. Next on Great Country Inns. Welcome back to Great Country Inns. You know, it's really true that mornings here at the Riversong Bed and Breakfast are a very special time. It's incredibly quiet, and the cool morning air and the sound of the river rushing by really helps you to wake up. But I should warn you, it also builds up quite an appetite. And I know that Gary and Sue have been up since the crack of dawn preparing a special breakfast just for us.
Gary and Susan start breakfast at around 6 a.m. The work today is divided quite simply into Sue making a breakfast bread called Sunrise Surprise, and Gary working on his John Wayne chili casserole. Now the process starts by frying up a pan of onions, Anaheim chilies, green and red peppers, and a variety of spices. The peppers are then combined with eggs, whipped cream, and 8 cups of several different types of cheeses. Hey, he never said it was low-cal. Gary then cooks the dish at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. While Gary and Susan finished making breakfast, I decided to use the early morning to look around the property. The inn was originally built in 1940 as a summer home for an oil man from Denver. The grounds are covered with Colorado blue spruce trees and other plants common throughout the nearby Rocky Mountain National Park. One of the most soothing aspects of Riversong is the sound of the big Thompson River which runs through the property. The water is so clear that you can see the individual colors of the rocks and an occasional rainbow trout. There are quite a few paths on the property which wind through the old gardens built by the original owner. You'll also find 17 swings spread out around the inn that are perfect for enjoying the cool shade or maybe reading a book. Inside the inn, there are 3 guest rooms, the dining room, and a nice large common area with a beautiful fireplace built from riverstone. You can usually find some cookies and hot coffee set out for guests.
Hot cowboy coffee. Love that. Not cowboy cups, though.
The coffee is called cowboy coffee because it's made in Wyoming and, according to the package, is guaranteed to keep the giddy up in your gallop as the day wears on.
Wow, what a tub. Have you ever seen a bathroom like this? Me either. Take a look.
The common area also has a large bathroom with an antique cast iron tub, exposed wood walls, and to top it off, a steam shower. Back in the kitchen, Gary's John Wayne casserole is just coming out of the oven. The breakfast will start with a bowl of fresh strawberries covered with the yogurt topping and a touch of mint for garnish.
Hey, hey.
John Wayne casserole. And that's a corn
Looks
buttermilk
wonderful.
muffin with a little bit of light sour cream on the side, if you'd like that.
I like that. I'm going for it. Thank you.
And this is Sue's homemade blackberry jam, which is a freezer jam, so it's nice and tart. You can taste the blackberries.
Sounds great. Let's try this. That's good. John Wayne would have loved it.
After a very hearty breakfast filled with memories of the Duke, I decided to take one of Gary's suggestions and hook up with a group called Colorado Biking Adventures that operate bike tours through Rocky Mountain National Park. The idea is simple. They take you to the top and let you coast down. In my opinion, the only way to mountain bike. Our guide today was Larry Wexler.
So how long does the ride take from beginning to end?
Well, approximately around 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, depending on the size of the group and how long. And as I said, we pull off and give information along different spots as we get to different views, and we're going to show you some of that today as we go down. We get up into the park early. We like to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. It gets us away from all the car traffic, so it becomes almost a bike-only experience.
chipmunk I've definitely seen. This snow is deep. Look how deep this is over here still. Wow.
Yeah, that sun makes a big difference, too.
It really does.
Feels good.
Listen, don't go anywhere. We have a lot more on Great Country Inn. Stay with us. You know, since the River Song Bed and Breakfast sits right smack dab next to the Roosevelt National Forest, which has thousands of acres, nature is a very big part of this inn. But it might surprise you just how much wildlife you'll find on the property.
Living here at River Song is kind of like living in your own national park. We're lucky that we have mule deer here with us year-round. Because of the overcrowding of the elk population, we're now getting big bull elk and herds of elk moving into this property more frequently all the time. But we're lucky because of being on the river and being on the mountainside and different settings of the mountains. We have shady sides, we have sunny sides, and we have water and lots of trees, and we have seclusion. And what that means is we have a variety of wildlife. We have little rosy nuthatches, white-breasted nuthatches, pygmy nuthatches. We've got mountain chickadees, we've got black-capped chickadees, we've got Steller's jays, Clark's nutcrackers. You know, we have the little Abert squirrels, which is just absolutely, I think our guests enjoy watching the squirrels often more so than they do the deer. It's a little squirrel with black tufted ears. And it's a crazy little critter. It looks like he's a cross between a squirrel and a rabbit. In fact, the locals call him squabbits. So Donna, you ready for your nature hike?
I just gotten so comfortable here. Now I am. I'm ready. I'm
Why
ready.
don't you grab a hiking stick?
Okay, does it matter which size?
Well, you know what? What's light and comfortable and easy to manage.
That sounds good. This one feels good, sure.
Okay.
All right. Which way do we head off?
Let's head off the trail. That's around the back porch.
Okay.
Picnic table.
All right. And they sally forth.
We have our own hiking trails that wind up through the mountain. We have 30 acres here at River Song, and then where our land leaves off, the National Forest land begins. Once, a long time ago, Sue and I saw a bobcat on the property. But we'll get coyotes that wander through the property, ravens. We have trout in our trout streams right now. So it's kind of a never-ending procession of some wildlife, and throughout every season of the year. Come on over here, we can get a better view of the river.
Well, at an elevation of 8,000 feet, the air gets a little thin for my taste. But once I reached the top, the hike seemed worth it. You'll definitely want to take this hike if you ever visit River Song. But something else fun to do is to visit the nearby town of Estes Park. Now, it's fairly small, but has lots of interesting galleries and stores, perfect for a minor shopping spree.
This is the place I'm looking for. Beautiful, but I don't know if it's me. Maybe. Well, I love this, and I'm going to take it.
Isn't that pretty?
What is it?
This is a dream catcher. The Indians believed the night air was filled with dreams. And these catches the good dreams, and the bad dreams all go out through the holes. And you keep only your good dreams.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
I'll take it.
All right.
Well, one of the really fun things to do here is to take the Estes Park gondola service, which takes you from the base of the mountain, which is about 7,500 feet, up to the top of the mountain, which is 8,900 feet. Built back in 1955, but they take very good care of it. Look way up there. The sensation of riding in a gondola is just like floating over the treetops below. When you do finally make it to the top, I'm sure you'll find the view of the Continental Divide to be well worth the trip. A view matched only by the one from the mountain right behind the River Song Inn.
Well, if you think the Big Thompson River looks great from up there, you ought to see it up close. It's truly amazing to me how clear and clean this water is. It's gorgeous. And speaking of clean, it's about time for me to clean up and get ready for dinner. That's where I'm going to head off to. And in the meantime, you can take a closer look around the grounds.
While guests are enjoying the late afternoon, River Song chef Carol Davis is busy making final preparations for dinner. You'll be pleased to know that dessert will be a chocolate Kahlua cake with French buttercream frosting decorated with edible flowers from Sue's garden. The entree is a sautéed boneless chicken breast. The sauce is made right in the pan while the chicken breast is finishing cooking. Butter is combined with pine nuts, shallots, sliced green olives, fresh herbs, and a splash of white wine and parsley. The plate is finished off with wild rice and steamed fresh asparagus spears. Ooh, Carol, that looks great.
Thank you. Your entree tonight is herb chicken, and it's sautéed with shallots, fresh herbs, piñon nuts, and olives. And we have a wild rice pilaf.
Thank you. It looks delightful. Yes, indeed. Delightful dinner after a very full and wonderful day. You know, sometimes it's very difficult to find the words to describe a place like this, even if it's your job, like it is mine, so I'm going to let someone else do it for me tonight. This is from one of the journals here at River Song in which the guests write. This says, as we prepare to depart tomorrow, I feel compelled to share a few thoughts. Our stay here has been magical, soothing, romantic, wondrous, and peaceful. I believe we have the makings of a tradition. Thank you for making us feel so at home at River Song. Pretty much says it all, don't you think? I'm Donna Hamilton, hoping to see you next time on Great Country Inns. Good night.
You'll be a hit as a host at your next party when you treat your guests to Death by Chocolate. Chef Marcel has the recipes next. After that, From Martha to Hillary, TLC presents America's First Ladies.